Welcome to Insights from Getting Undressed with speaker, author, and coach, David Cooks.
I'm David Cooks, and welcome to Insights from Getting Undressed, where we get to speak with readers from across the country and get their insights from my book, Getting Undressed from Paralysis to Purpose. Our guest today is Scott Schraml from Scottsdale, Arizona. Scott, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dave. Good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. Hey, before we get started, tell us a little bit more about yourself and some things you'd like the audience to know about who you are.
Sure. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Also have a background as a corporate guy for 20 plus years, but during that entire time was really passionate about doing something entrepreneurial. And at age 46, I finally took that leap.
Wow.
And started my current business, Mojo Bowl. It is a food truck at this time, but it has been a brick and mortar restaurant in the past. And I hope it to become a brick and mortar once again. Kind of a bumpy road along the way. You know my story pretty well. But with the trials along the way, it's been an incredible teacher. And so my business is very small right now. I guess I run the business kind of on a moonlighting basis because I do have a day job as well. I work at Costco right now. But, yeah.
Well, fantastic. We're happy to have you and looking forward to your insights. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's begin. Scott, what story in the book did you relate to the most and why?
Dave, if you'll allow me to, I'd like to give you a two-part answer because, there were a lot of stories, but two really jumped out at me that I relate to personally. The first story was you as the author, your desire to become a part of Duke basketball, and then, your salesmanship with Coach K. And your bold salesmanship, your desire to get in front of him and do it, and then do whatever it took to be a part of the program, including filling water bottles or shagging balls at practice. I can relate to that so much because as I became an entrepreneur, I didn't know what I was doing, but yet my desire to get to my destiny was, over the top, and it's still that way. So I have the opinion that I'll do what it takes, do whatever it takes. The second story I really related to was when you were fired from Marquette High School as basketball coach. And I have also experienced what it's like to almost have someone reach in, grab your heart, and pull it out. And I had that happen in an experience that I had 5 years ago. I had a brick and mortar restaurant on the campus of GCU, Grand Canyon University, and I lost that store, only had a 1-year contract. And so, I related to that. So I related to your passion, in the first story, and then, experiencing failure with something that you're passionate about.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. What are some of the key takeaways you have from reading the book?
The key takeaways, the thing that really just kind of, stuck with me and still does is kind of your mantra: reflect, regroup, relaunch. I love the fact that you make it known that failure will happen in life. And the thing that I like to piggyback on top of that is, to me, it's a great teacher. You're familiar with Michael Jordan saying, I succeed so much because I've failed so many times.
Right.
Thousands of times I've been trusted with taking the game-winning shot and I've missed. And so I think the most successful people in life are very familiar with failure. And so you're kind of taking a 3-step system and then on learning from failure and then using it as fuel for the future. I'm like, yeah, that's something I want to, not only hang on to, but use.
Great. I guess we need to get Michael Jordan to read the book.
Yeah.
MJ, if you're out there listening, you have inspired us. Get the book. We got your picture in the book.
Absolutely.
All right. What's your favorite quote from the book?
Well, Dave, like the two favorite stories, I have two favorite quotes.
Okay.
And so the first one would be from chapter 13. And that would be, be the most giving person in the room. And you have said that to me personally. And I remember on the phone with you once, you said, don't look at opportunities to network with people as something you can get, but what can you give them? And you speak of that often. And so that is a quote from the book that it hit me right between the eyes. What can you give? Because if you face it, if you think about it, everybody is all into what's in it for me. What's in it for me? And you flip that right on its head. Be the most giving person in the room. So I like that. And then you say that, competing and giving is a race worth running. So yeah, absolutely. The second one would be from chapter 16. And this goes back to what I just said about failure and how, it's such a great teacher. You stated, it is impossible to live without failing at something. Amen. Absolutely. So don't let that stop you from getting to your destiny. And then you tie that into the fact that people, we're passionate people. A lot of us are. I know you are. I know I am. But using that to embrace it and then learn from it and then get back in line. And I love that. So
before we finish today, we're going to give you an opportunity to freestyle and share with everyone your thoughts about the book. Go ahead, Scott.
Sure. First of all, I've known David Cook's author of Getting Undressed for a long time, almost 30 years to be exact. And I've known this man to be passionate and bold and outgoing. And it jumps off the pages in the book. Reading Dave's story cover to cover, I didn't know the full story. And so when I delved into, the struggle and the passion, it was something that, I thought I knew Dave, but really got to know him through the book. I relate so much to a number of the stories, Dave finding his heartbeat, with basketball, not only with Duke basketball, but becoming a high school coach out in Darien, Connecticut. And at first he thought he found it in the corporate world, but something was missing. And, I loved how Dave also is adamant about, pushing through limitations. The fact that he's been in a wheelchair hasn't stopped him one bit from reaching his goals. And then he had never been an author before, written a book, or as a public speaker. And so, as he says in the book so eloquently, time to change clothes again. And so I can relate to that. When I started Mojo Bowl, I didn't know what I was doing. And that's kind of the exciting part about it. When you're about to change clothes and you don't know what's coming next, but yet you put your pants on, put your shirt on, and you learn as you go. That's exciting to me, and that jumped off the pages in the book. And if you haven't read the book, what's stopping you? You need to read this book.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you joining us today. We will have more insights from Getting Undressed next time. Remember, whatever life throws your way, your ability to endure it is always greater than your willingness to endure it.
You can order your copy of Getting Undressed from Paralysis to Purpose at davidcookspeaks.com or on amazon.com. Special thanks to Scott Schraml for sharing his insights from Getting Undressed.